I am a 25-year-old woman, and I have been married for almost a year. My husband is 26 years old. Today, I feel like I am suffering the consequences of my own choices. Before my marriage, I was in a relationship with someone for nearly 5 years. It was a long-distance relationship, and we never even met in person. But I truly believed I loved him. Unfortunately, we couldn't get married, and my parents arranged my marriage to someone else. On the very first night of our marriage, I told my husband the entire truth. I confessed that I loved someone else, and that this marriage was against my wishes. When he reached out to hold my hand, I even pulled it away. Looking back now, I realize that perhaps everything changed from that very moment. Almost a year has passed since then. During all this time, my husband has never tried to touch me again. We barely speak to each other. Yet, despite everything, he has never insulted me, never blamed me, and never treated me badly. He is a gentle, soft-spoken, and respectful man who prays 5 times a day and regularly recites the Holy Quran. A few weeks ago, he discovered that I was still texting the man from my past. He calmly told me that if I wanted to end this marriage, he would give me a divorce. At that moment, I simply said yes. However, when I informed the man I once loved that my husband was willing to divorce me, he began making excuses and eventually walked away from my life. Around the same time, I learned something that completely shattered me. I found out that my husband had been quietly helping my father financially. Yet he never mentioned it to me or used it to make himself look good. That was the moment I realized what I had lost. I had failed to appreciate a man who genuinely wanted to honor, while I continued chasing someone who abandoned me when life became difficult. Today, I am overwhelmed with regret. I want to talk to my husband, sincerely apologize, and tell him that I finally understand my mistakes. But after a year of distance, silence, and the guilt of everything I have done, I cannot find the courage to face him. Very soon, he will divorce me, because that was what I once asked for, and the thought of losing him forever is breaking me from the inside. I am not looking for sympathy or harsh criticism. I simply want honest and sincere advice. Is there still any chance to save this marriage? Should I gather the courage to speak to my husband, admit my mistakes wholeheartedly, and ask him for one last chance? Please guide me with kindness rather than judgment. Perhaps your advice could change the course of my life.